when one streamer thought he could take on a pro fighter and another found himself knocked out cold by a UFC legend. These are the moments that prove how quickly things can go from bold to brutal. Here are the streamers who got destroyed by pro fighters. Let's start with the shocking incident when a streamer thought he could hang with a UFC legend. Neon's trash talk at Nate Diaz's press conference was supposed to be a joke, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. The brash streamer, known for his bold demeanor, made the mistake of insulting Diaz in front of his crew. Diaz, known for his no-nonsense attitude, immediately took offense. Neon tried to play it off, but Diaz wasn't having it. The tension escalated quickly. Neon, attempting to save face, even tried to show respect, but it only seemed to make things worse. His words, meant to calm the situation, backfired, drawing more ire from Diaz's camp. Neon found himself surrounded by Diaz's team, who made it clear that this wasn't a moment for jokes. As things heated up, Neon's own security guard stepped in, not to protect him, but to lecture him on what was about to unfold.
You don't run into a parking garage when shit is happening. You listen to what I told you. That is why I sat next to you and told you. That is why I told you when we were walking. That is why when you sat down and asked me to show you what's going to happen if you do it, that's why I showed you exactly what was going to happen.
It was a reality check Neon didn't see coming. His attempts to salvage the situation were futile, as his guard gave him a lesson on humility. The pressure was undeniable, as Neon, shaking with fear, could do nothing but apologize, realizing that his online bravado had no place here. And as Neon struggled to regain control, we head into another shocking moment where a streamer's bravado led him to a brutal lesson in the ring. At a packed club, Sneako found himself in a confrontation with a bouncer he clearly underestimated. What started as some playful back and forth escalated when Sneako, getting a little too bold, knocked the bouncer's cap off. The situation went from casual to intense in a matter of seconds. The bouncer wasn't amused and, without warning, delivered a single punch that knocked Sneako's front tooth out, sending him reeling. What followed was a blur of confusion as Sneako, stunned and humiliated, stood there in disbelief, showing off his busted-up smile to anyone around. The chaos that ensued was a sharp reminder that some people aren't here for the games or the online personas. In the blink of an eye, Sneako went from cocky to totally humbled, realizing just how quickly a simple altercation can turn into something far worse.
Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
Got this busted up tooth. Smile for me, man. This was the security guard at this event right up here.
Now, after this shocking encounter, we move on to another streamer who found himself in a dangerous situation he couldn't talk his way out of. Aiden Ross stepped into the ring for a sparring session with UFC fighter Dylan Dannies, but what was meant to be a friendly match quickly turned into a disaster. Things took a hilariously unexpected turn when Aiden admitted, half jokingly, that he'd messed himself up during the session. Dylan wasn't about to let that one slide. He immediately latched onto Aiden's embarrassing confession, and from there, the session went south fast. Dannies relentlessly mocked Aiden, not giving him an ounce of sympathy. As the sparring continued, it became clear that Aiden was way out of his league, and the humiliation only piled on. Dannies took full advantage of Aiden's discomfort, expertly dominating him in the ring and leaving him questioning his own toughness. By the end, Aiden was completely out of his depth, both physically and mentally, and couldn't help but acknowledge that he had bitten off more than he could chew.
Oh, I feel so.
Yeah. You do smell kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, now you gotta let me put you to sleep then. No, Dylan, come on, just once. No. I won't do it. Holy shit. You hurt? Yeah.
Now that Aiden's pride has been shattered, let's shift our focus to another streamer who tried his hand at something similar, only to get a harsh reality check of his own. When Sneako decided to step into the ring with UFC fighter Sean Strickland, he probably didn't expect things to go the way they did. Confident in his own abilities, he figured he could hold his own against the seasoned fighter, but Strickland quickly proved that this was a fight Sneako wasn't prepared for. Within moments, Sneako was left reeling, his nose bloodied and his confidence shattered. Strickland's calm yet ruthless approach to the sparring session made it clear that Sneako was outclassed. The brutal reality of being in the ring with a professional fighter hit him hard, and it wasn't long before Sneako had to acknowledge that he was completely out of his depth. What began as a show of bravado quickly turned into an embarrassing defeat, leaving Sneako with more than just physical pain to deal with. His pride had taken a serious blow.
There you go.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
But Sneako wasn't done yet. His next challenge would come at the hands of someone else with a heavy-hitting reputation. After his painful sparring with Sean Strickland, you'd think Sneako would take a break, but instead, he found himself facing another challenger in the ring, Jake Paul. Despite all the internet hype surrounding him, Sneako was about to find out that real-life fighting wasn't like streaming a video game. From the moment the bell rang, it was clear that Paul was the one in control. Sneako's bravado couldn't save him this time. One punch from Jake Paul left him with a serious headache, and it didn't take long before the streamer realized that his internet persona couldn't protect him in the real world. Jake Paul, known for his boxing skills, quickly dismantled any confidence Sneako had left, leaving him dazed and defeated. This wasn't the outcome he was hoping for, but it was one he couldn't deny.
Oh, no, it's okay. Shake it off. That didn't hurt. You can't see straight. It didn't hurt.
As Sneako reeled from the knockout, another streamer was about to find themselves in a similar situation, but this time the stakes were even higher. Neon and Adin Ross thought they were ready for the challenge, but when they stepped up to face boxing prodigy Ryan Garcia, it quickly became apparent that they were out of their league. What started as an innocent challenge turned into an embarrassing defeat as the two streamers tried to go toe-to-toe with one of the best young fighters in the world. The moment the challenge started, Ryan didn't hold back. Neon and Adin, full of confidence, quickly found themselves overwhelmed by Garcia's speed and precision. As they struggled to keep up, their cocky attitudes started to fade, replaced by a painful realization they were in way over their heads. Neon's bravado crumbled under the pressure, and Adin, who had been hyping himself up, was left gasping for air, completely outmatched. Ryan's effortless control in the ring was a clear reminder of what it takes to truly be at the top of the game, and it left both streamers humiliated. They had stepped in thinking they could hang, but the reality of fighting a professional boxer hit them harder than any punch Garcia threw.
You're in.
2v1, Neon. All right, Neon, listen. This is
No, let's play sides.
you play sides. Yup. Like it's zone defense on 2K. Can't breathe. You knocked the wind out. Give me 10 seconds. I'm up. Time out.
As they limped away, wondering how they ever thought they could win, another fighter was about to humble yet another streamer. This time, the stakes would be even higher. Adin Ross wasn't done just yet. After his embarrassing encounter with Ryan Garcia, he decided to test his luck in the UFC ring. His next challenge, UFC fighter Shah Ali. Adin, brimming with overconfidence, thought he could handle himself better this time, but it didn't take long for Ali to prove just how out of his element Adin really was. As soon as the sparring session began, it was clear who the superior fighter was. Ali's brutal and precise strikes quickly left Adin dazed and regretting his decision. Every punch landed with ease, and Adin's attempts to defend himself seemed ineffective against the UFC veteran. The more Ali dominated, the more Adin's confidence faded. He quickly realized that sparring with a seasoned fighter was a whole different world compared to playing a game of pretend.
I want a good clean fight here. Let's go.
3 2-minute rounds.
3 2-minute rounds. Time it. Let's go.
God. Oh.
Within moments, Adin was on the receiving end of a harsh reality check. His bravado melted away, replaced by frustration and disbelief at just how much of an amateur he looked like in the ring. It was a moment of clarity. Adin wasn't built for this, and it showed. Just as Adin was trying to catch his breath, another streamer was about to find themselves face to face with someone who would deliver an even harsher lesson. When Kai Cenat hopped on a FaceTime call with Dillon Danis, he probably didn't expect the roasting he was about to get. What started as a casual conversation quickly escalated into a heated exchange. Dillon didn't hold back, mocking Kai's fanbase and even taking shots at his outfit. "You guys have like the same fanbase, just like premature boys," Dillon quipped, showing no mercy. Kai, who's known for his own fiery personality, tried to fire back with his own jabs, but it was clear Dillon was always one step ahead. The back and forth grew more intense, with Dillon accusing Kai of wearing pajamas and taking subtle digs at his image. As the insults flew, Kai attempted to stay composed, but the mocking tone from Dillon cut deeper than expected. The situation quickly spiraled, with Kai becoming visibly frustrated. "Yo, keep professional," Kai urged, but Dillon wasn't having it. Every attempt to regain control of the conversation seemed to only fuel the fire. Kai's attempts to stand his ground were met with more relentless mocking, and it became clear, in this verbal sparring match, Dillon had the upper hand.
And you guys have like the same fan base, just like premature so forth.
Yo, what the f? Keep professional, bro.
Keep it professional. You just have a bunch of
Hey.
No, I watch your shit. I'm probably the only man that watches your shit.
Hey, okay,
The only man.
see, I can't take this. Like, come on, Dylan, you can't be
No,
talking.
come in the ring with KSI.
Bro,
They need help.
And it was a humbling moment for Kai, who found himself struggling to defend his honor while Dylan effortlessly tore him down. And speaking of confrontations, the next one would come from someone much more than a verbal opponent. FaZe Lazy probably didn't think it would be this easy when he stepped into the ring with the MMA powerhouse, Alex Pereira. But after just one brutal punch, it became painfully clear that Lazy was out of his depth. As soon as the blow landed, the air seemed to leave his body, and he was left struggling to catch his breath. Pereira, known for his devastating knockout power, showed no mercy as Lazy's confidence rapidly faded. The hit was so precise and powerful that Lazy found himself gasping for air, the realization dawning on him that he was dealing with a pro far beyond anything he was ready for. It wasn't a fight, it was more of a reminder of how serious things can get when you step into the ring with someone of this caliber.
Ok, ó lá. 1, 2, 3. Entendeu? 1, 2, 3.
The punch left him questioning his decision, with every ounce of bravado quickly drained from his body. No flashy moves, no trash talk, just one moment of clarity. He was no match for someone like Pereira. But FaZe Lazy wasn't the only one who found out how quickly things can go wrong in a sparring match. Someone else was about to face a similar fate, but it was in a completely different arena. Aiden Ross, in a moment of misplaced confidence, decided to take a swing at Alex Pereira, one of the most feared strikers in combat sports. But what he didn't expect was how quickly his move would backfire. The punch, intended to be a bold move, ended up wrecking his hand, leaving him reeling in pain and embarrassment. It wasn't just the physical pain that got to him, it was the realization that he was on an entirely different level than Pereira. While Aiden was used to dominating the online world, he quickly found out that real-life combat is a whole different beast. His ego took a major blow, and it was clear that he wasn't prepared for the sheer force and precision of a professional fighter. The moment was a painful reminder of the gap between a streamer's bravado and the raw power of a pro fighter.
100%. Convi, do it. Just do it. Just do it. No, Convi, do it. Actually do it. Bro, what the? No, I'm gonna get swollen after this, I swear to God.
Aiden wasn't just outmatched, he was completely outclassed. But as he learned, even the slightest misstep in the ring could turn everything upside down. As the pain set in, Aiden's ego wasn't the only thing bruised. Someone else would also soon experience what happens when you step into the ring with someone who knows how to fight. IShowSpeed's attempt at stepping into the ring with a pro fighter didn't go as planned. The moment the bell rang, it was clear that Speed's online bravado had no place in the ring. The professional fighter quickly took control, overwhelming IShowSpeed with ease. What started as a simple sparring session turned into a one-sided demolition, with the streamer barely able to keep up. But things took an even more embarrassing turn when the fight escalated into a wrestling brawl. IShowSpeed found himself tangled in a situation he wasn't prepared for, struggling to keep his balance and composure as the fighter tossed him around with ease. The situation was a complete contrast to his usual high-energy persona, and the crowd could see just how out of his element he truly was. It became clear, not every streamer is built for the physical demands of combat sports. IShowSpeed's experience was a sharp wake-up call for him, revealing the brutal reality of stepping into the ring with a pro. His flashy online persona couldn't protect him from the raw skill and power of a trained fighter.
Go for the head, go for the head.
The embarrassment didn't end there. IShowSpeed quickly realized that he wasn't just outmatched, he was humiliated in front of a live audience. As he walked out of the ring, his confidence shattered. It was evident that he would never look at the world of combat sports the same way again. And while IShowSpeed's crushing defeat was hard to watch, another streamer soon found themselves facing a different kind of humiliation. In a bold move, Fusi decides to call out boxing sensation Ryan Garcia during a public event. His attempt to throw shade at Garcia's appearance quickly escalates, with Fusi thinking he could push the athlete's buttons. But Ryan Garcia was having none of it. Instead of backing down or responding with words, Garcia took control of the situation with a swift and cutting remark that left Fusi speechless. Ryan's no no-nonsense response instantly put Fauci in his place, making it clear that insulting a professional fighter was a bad idea. Garcia didn't have to get physical to assert his dominance. His words alone were enough to shut Fauci down. The public confrontation quickly turned from an attempted roast to a lesson in humility for Fauci, who realized that he was no match for Garcia's sharp wit and commanding presence. Fauci's attempt to take a shot at one of the best in the sport backfired spectacularly.
Alcohol. I'm on you. Your breath smell like alcohol. I'm on you. Your breath smell like alcohol. I'm on you. Your breath smell like alcohol. Yeah, that's alcohol. That's alcohol. You been drinking. Yeah, but you can't talk about G7 like that.
Yeah, I'll fucking talk about G7 like that. You won't do shit.
Nah.
Leaving him with no choice but to back off. His bravado quickly deflated, and the crowd could see just how out of his league he truly was. The incident was a harsh reminder that not every challenge is one worth taking. After the verbal smackdown, Fauci had no choice but to retreat, while Garcia remained the clear winner of the exchange. But the drama didn't end there. Another streamer soon found themselves tangled up in a confrontation that didn't end in their favor. In an attempt to prove himself, iShowSpeed steps into the ring for a sparring session with KSI, hoping to hold his own against the YouTube sensation turned fighter. However, things take a brutal turn almost immediately. Despite his confidence, iShowSpeed quickly realized that this isn't just a friendly match, it's the real deal. KSI wastes no time delivering a few powerful punches, and within moments, Speed is knocked out cold on the mat. The knockout is swift and decisive, with iShowSpeed left dazed and completely outmatched. It's a shocking moment, especially for those who thought the streamer might have a chance against a trained fighter like KSI. The humiliation is clear as Speed struggles to regain his senses, realizing just how far out of his depth he really was. The experience serves as a painful reminder for iShowSpeed and anyone watching that taking on a professional fighter without the right training is a dangerous game. His bravado crumbled in the face of KSI's power, leaving him with a harsh lesson in combat sports. And while it may have been a quick defeat for iShowSpeed, it wasn't the last time a streamer would get caught up in an encounter with a pro fighter. iShowSpeed steps into the ring once again, this time facing off against none other than the legendary Manny Pacquiao. Though Speed is ready to prove himself, Pacquiao, ever the showman, doesn't hold back when it comes to trolling his opponent. With a playful smirk, Pacquiao toys with Speed, delivering jabs and moves that make the streamer look more like a punching bag than a worthy opponent. But things escalate quickly when Pacquiao decides to deliver a single, perfectly timed punch. In an instant, Speed is floored, knocked out with such precision that it's almost comical. The entire exchange is a masterclass in both skill and trash talk, as Pacquiao effortlessly demonstrates the vast difference between a professional boxer and an internet personality hoping to make a name for himself in the ring. The moment is both embarrassing and hilarious, with Speed left sprawled out on the mat in a heap of disbelief. It's a painful reminder of the gap between someone like Manny Pacquiao, a world-class boxer, and a streamer looking for his moment of glory. Speed, despite his bravado, has no chance against one of the best in the sport, and the moment is sure to be etched in his memory for years to come. If you thought these were crazy, you won't want to miss what happens in this next video.